What's going on, guys? It is early morning here. My Tibber and Stone Let's Play Day 70, Episode 70. What an epic this turned out to be. I didn't expect it to go this long. I was just going to kind of experiment with a new format, like a daily journal kind of thing. You guys seem to like that. I kind of liked it too. I think it'll tell a good story. It'd be kind of interesting for me to go back maybe like a couple months from now and watch this through perhaps, or at least watch the highlights. But I think I've kind of decided at this point this is going to be the final episode. So I'm just going to tell you that right off the bat, and I'll show you why. There's one real large determining factor. Nothing really significant happened over the evening. This is a couple visitors. We've got nothing too bad. I mean, I'm at the point now where I'm secure. Now that I've gotten that huge army for the most part cleaned off of over there, even if something were to pop, I just don't see any single event able to go, deliver us a killing blow. And at this point now, it would take a large shift of my focus and a lot of my jobs in this thing. So I think to do this right, I would almost have to go on for another 50 episodes by the time I got things all reorganized, all the people retrained. Because mining, let's take a look. I've mined out basically everything under here for the most part. I could still do a little bit under here, but not much. I'd have to go out this tunnel and start mining out over here. Again, big projects and stuff, and I'm out of resources in that regard. Obviously, iron and stuff. But I haven't cared because I knew this was kind of coming to an end. We clearly didn't get to the building side of things that I wanted to get to, but I will try to prioritize that with the next season I do, so I'll talk about that in a minute. But the reason I clicked record, and I hope it's good enough for you guys to see, we had a little archer fight here. I figured this is a good little way. What is this? A wolf stuck in it. I didn't even realize that guy was there. Is he stuck in there, or is he going to pop out on me? But anyway, we have Maris over here, who is now... Oops, I'm hitting so many wrong buttons. There we go. Level 20 archer, good vision, courageous. So we're going to have her, excuse me, post up on here, and we're going to have him try to take on this little Goblin archer for a little action scene here. See what we can do. Not sure what she's doing. Again, AI with that wolf might have something to do with it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's charge that. I don't know why she keeps putting her bow away. There you go. There you go. Take it down. Well, I don't know why the Goblin Archer is charging. Alright, so a little damage to her. Nothing too crazy. So, here is... I just figured we'd give you that little last hurrah, since this kind of didn't turn out to be much. But you can see we're all cleaned out here, right? Not exactly. And this is why all my guys are bugging out so much, and I'm having so much difficulty. These guys, I just can't get them. I just, for some reason... can't get that on. I think I figured this out. Look under here, guys. As I scroll down, look at all the guys under the ground. I didn't realize. I knew we had guys here. I knew we actually had a lot more. See some of the bodies here? There was a lot more strewn in this area, but for some reason, and I don't know why, Frostcap was able to come in here, even though they were under the ground. Like, Frostcap would be on top of the ground. I didn't dig anything out. He'd just walk over to, like, this random square, and he would be able to hit the person through the blocks. Glitchy is glitchy, I guess. So he's actually cleaned out probably 10 that you don't even see, including these bodies. It seems like as soon as the bodies were kind of underground for a little while, they disappeared. I don't know why these haven't. But yeah, it's been interesting. Actually, no, the wolf is dead in there. Okay. All right. So yeah, you see, that was the thing. I couldn't click on them before, so it seems like the ones I couldn't click on are the ones that have just kind of disappeared. But look, guys. Look at all these guys under here. I'm never going to be able to get them out of here because there's too many of them. So I'm never going to be able to send anybody over here to kill them. Look at how deep some of these guys go. It's kind of crazy. I don't even know. Like I said, I'm not sure how that happened. But you look, they're like 2 or 3, and that's 2 or 3 levels under, and that's why they're always panicking so hard in this area. It's just I'm never going to be able to operate in there at all. And I feel a little bit like I'm never really going to be... The only thing I was thinking of is trying to get some flaming arrows and shooting at stuff in here and letting this burn up, and maybe that would kill some of them, but I'm not sure, and that wouldn't be like a directly controlled approach or anything. I guess I could maybe shoot some ballistas into the dirt, like over here, and open it up, but I don't really want to do that. I don't want to mess with that. I don't want to do that indirect approach, and that could carry on for a long time. And I just feel like... Oh, actually, that's right. I had to rescue some of my builders. I just cleaned up the bridge a little bit. And there you go. There's the actual... the bridge looks terrible, but it's functional. I feel like as long as these things are here, like, again, this is what the game decided we could handle. So all the things I killed, which, I don't even know, 50 skeletons, something like that. 2 necromancers, 50 skeletons, and what's there got to be? Another 30 skeletons here under the ground? Like, I feel like I'm never getting to the full brunt of the game as long as these guys are underground. They're taking up slots as far as I would understand. So I'm just, that's why I said that was the big factor that made me decide to just say, okay, that's it. This is going to be the final episode. Kind of sad, kind of bittersweet. I feel accomplished that we got to this point, and I think, as far as I've laid the foundation to a pretty big. I'm cruising around to see if there's anything we see here. I built a pretty big foundation for a good city. I mean, you can see we're about to ding 10,000 food. So cheers to figuring out to do the fishermen over the farmers and kind of figuring out the best way to farm. We've got some guys over here, but again, there's nothing really out here that I would be afraid of. Even matriarchs, even 2 matriarchs at one time, I don't think I would have to fear. And I don't know why this is chipped away. That's interesting. The only way they could really get in at this point is through the back, which I don't think they would do anyway, and then through the front. I think I have enough firepower to handle them. So I think we're kind of there. I mean, we've left some things out, and next time I think I'm gonna have a couple rules of thumb as I go. I'm not gonna allow this to happen. I'm going to, even if I'm gonna try to pick a map that doesn't have this. Isolated thing. And if it does, I'm going to try to prioritize early on, at least putting some kind of a dirt bridge over or some kind of connection so that mobs can get across. Like ideally what would have been good here is to kind of put a bridge over here. This way they could have come across. It wouldn't have been aware I could have kind of sniper them off. They could come across and then just kind of behave wildly over here. So that wasn't my thinking. I was trying to survive, obviously, and kind of make this successful. So I was like, well, if they're going to be over there, leave them alone. But we figured out here with the end game that kind of damages it. It kind of takes a lot of the threat level away. I mean, just think about these. That's a lot of aggro that the game is trying to throw at me, but isn't working. So the idea, I think, is to not let that big crowd of skeletons pop up and just kind of loiter over here. And then what happens is the guys spawn up in the air, the guys spawn in the ground, and it just kind of becomes a mess. So next season, we're not going to do that. Next season, I think I haven't quite decided this. And maybe let's take some feedback from you guys. If you're watching here, episode 70, even if you haven't seen them all, if you've just tuned in, you're seeing that I'm saying this is the final episode and you want to chime in. What do you want to see us do for next episode? I don't know the full changes in the new 1.6 patch. Like I said, I've purposely kind of avoided. I'm going to let things kind of run here. Oh, we've got a little goblin action. Let's see what our archer can do. We got both of them. He'll be done quick, and I've got the guard standing inside the door. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to limit myself to wooden fortifications. Not going to stone up, because if I have a theme, I have an idea. I'm not going to quite announce that. You'll see that in the first episode whenever that starts. That's going to take a lot of stone and stonework. But just kind of walls made out of wood and things. And this way, there's a lot more danger involved. There's going to be a lot. I'm basically looking to up the difficulty. Might be a mistake. Maybe 1.6 is a lot harder, and you guys that play on it are like, oh my god, you're crazy. You're gonna die the first week. Hey, maybe so. Maybe season 5 won't be a long one. I've had one of those before. What was that? Season 2, I believe. So that's fine. I don't have any problem showing you my fails. I learn a lot from them. But I also, I don't want to have this. I mean, I feel like in this build, compared to like season 3, I felt like I was on the ropes twice, like where I was very close to just, quitting and starting over because I just didn't see an end. I ended up pulling it out, and that was awesome. But this one here, I don't feel like I was ever actually threatened for it to be wiped out. Now, I maybe I have to go back and watch because it's been so long. It's actually been months long now. Maybe there's some moments in the beginning that I'm not thinking about. What do we have? Maybe 5 real deaths. When I say real deaths, I mean towards the end here, obviously Bridget who died over here, a couple people who died over here were just me kind of having to let people go and do their own thing because I couldn't micromanage everybody. But when it counted early on, I don't think I really had too many people die. That I kind of we were finitely controlling. So I think all in all, this season has been very successful. I really like the idea of the curved walls. I think it looks really nice. It would have been nice to build a city in here and stuff, that's for sure. But that's why I kind of don't, at the same time, I don't want to dally to getting into 1.6. I already have. What am I, about a month late or something like that? But that's okay, because that gave them some chance to kind of fix a couple things, I hope. But I don't want to wait too long, and then, we get into 1.6 and possibly 1.7 gets released. So I want to kind of jump on that. I'm eager to try some of the new things, even if I'm not that excited about the kind of the reskin or the graphic additions to the game. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think as we get into it. But I'm anxious to try the new changes and some of the things that have been new, and hopefully some of the things that have been fixed. One thing I've been told is the pathing, where the people walk, it makes a dirt path. I think that's just such a great little addition. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for silly things. But, it's kind of the charm of this game. So I'm excited to get to 1.6, and I had to call this at some point. Because, like I said, if we were going to build in here and you know, the more I got to it, the scaffolding is nice and stuff, but if I'm going to build buildings and houses, I would really like the function of ladders, and I know 1.6 doesn't have ladders, I don't think, or, again, if I'm calling this 1.6 and that's the current, does it tell me what the, no, it doesn't. You know what I mean. The most recent update, I know, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have ladders too, but it would be kind of a pain in the butt to build all these houses in here when I have to scaffolding everything, but like I said, I had to call it at some point. 70 is a nice round number. And I think we're kind of at a point. We wiped out the army over there. We're kind of at a point where we would just have to start committing to another 20 episodes or so. And I'm just not prepared to do that. I'm kind of on the channel anyway. I'm trying to focus on shutting down these long seasons, RimWorld, as well as here at Timber and Stone, so I can start new ones because new updates are out. And everybody seems to like the new content better and the new fixes, of course. So that's going to be it. We're going to sign off here. A couple of things. I'm just trying to think of things to talk about. Obviously, like the farms. We got some chickens back up, which is good. We ended up using, what, 250 or so arrows to kill those skeletons, something like that. I'm going through tools like crazy. I've been giving them copper tools and stuff even, and it's still just burning through them. Just trying to let the trees grow back so it would look a little nicer. But part of me wishes I could have, you can see the battle scars out here. I really like the moat, how that came out, and the wall. I think that looks great. If I had to do it all over again, I would make the moat bigger. I would almost say like a 2-to-1 ratio. The moat should be twice as thick as the wall. I think that would look a lot better. And of course, as we talked about over here, it would give you a lot more function tactically, where the line of sight is a little softer. What are you doing just hanging out here? My stonemasons, they've been so tied over here building bricks and stuff. Now they wander so much. I had someone swimming laps around the moat before. So, you know, I learned a lot of things here, what to do, what not to do. I would like to try to incorporate more circles in my builds going forward. I like it. I think it looks good. It softens some of the edge. But like I said, I do have a concept in mind, a theme, if you will. I'm going to do a little research on the new update and see what it might allow me, doesn't allow me to do. I'm going to have to do some re-rolls of the map and find a really good map, because I like to do that. I like to have high minerals and stuff if I can. And, you know, a correct setting. Like, I picked this map specifically because it had this little kind of the river and this thing where I felt like I could back up. If you remember early on, I mentioned I wanted to do a whole big pier system out here. We obviously never got to that. I mean, obviously I had bigger dreams than I could functionally handle, but that's okay. That's what makes this game fun. Otherwise you get kind of boring if you don't have these big, grandiose ideas. But that's about going to wrap this up, guys. Again, I'd love to hear your feedback on the season overall. How did you enjoy it? What did you enjoy about it? What didn't you enjoy? Like, what kind of tweaks can I make to a Let's Play Season 5 and just kind of make it better? Otherwise, as far as fortifications and building and things like that, we're going to go in, we're going to learn the new changes, obviously, so it's hard for me to say too detailed about how I'll do too many things differently. But let me know if you want to see me do anything differently in the next Let's Play. Now is the time to let me know. Let me know down below. Give me some idea about, let's say 70 episodes. If you watch, I mean, I really don't expect everybody who have watched them all. If you did, great, man, that's awesome. But give me a ballpark idea how many of the 70 you think you watched. That'll give me some good idea to, if I want to speed it up a little bit or kind of cut the episodes, the length and format and things. So once again, guys, if you watch this long, or even if you're just tuning in to see how it wrapped up, I appreciate you viewing. I appreciate you following. And if you enjoyed it, if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. There'll be more like this to come. Definitely going to be more Timber and Stone. I just love this game. And hopefully it's going to continue to be updated and enable me to kind of play with new things, even if it's not very often. But as long as it's going to keep moving forward, I'll keep covering it, because I think a lot of you guys like the game as well, and would like to see that. So thanks so much, guys. I will talk to you next time, or I will talk to you next season. See, I'm so used to saying that. I will talk to you next season. Take care, guys.